Hi, Cooler fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at an AIO that's a little bit older. It's the Lian Galahad. It's still fairly easily available from different sources. Let me show you the specs on screen so you don't have to try to read it as my hands are wobbling because this arm is still recovering and can't hold things up for very long. And certainly I'm not supposed to be holding things that are as heavy as this. So from looking at the specs, what we can learn is this. First of all, the fans are, I should say, at the minimum, what I consider the minimum anyways, for use on a radiator. They have an airflow of 65.5 and a fan. The pressure is 2.5 or 2.54 millimeters of water or static pressure at a 30.1 decibels. And this to me is the minimum, especially for the pressure. It does not give any information here about the pump, which is really something I don't like to see from manufacturers because it makes me wonder, what are they hiding? And a lot of companies do this. Some companies don't even give you information about their fans. I'm going to show you some stuff on the screen now from their website. And this is going to be a little different because this is probably newer than what I've got on my lap right now. And if we look, we can see that the fan airflow has increased, and so has the pressure by a little bit. 69.17 and 2.6, so they've gone up a bit. And let's see, is there anything useful for the pump? No, they don't give you the pressure, they don't give you the lift, they don't tell you even the RPMs. So this makes me concerned. Why aren't they showing RPMs, lift, or even pressure on here? This is something that every manufacturer should be required to show, but a lot of companies, they're like, well, I'm not going to show it for whatever stupid reason, and then it just makes me lose confidence. So I can't honestly say this is good since there's no information. Let's see if there's anything. So this is the pump, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not an engineer. Triple chamber structure. Don't know if that's good or not. Aluminum shields, or aluminium for the British. Rotatable block housing, for those of you who want to be able to sit and spin. And there is an LED controller. But yeah, no, nothing else. That's annoying. Now this does support AMD up to AM4, so theoretically it'll work on AM5. It also supports 1700 LGA socket. It's got the special dense foam. There is thermal paste, unmarked bolts. This is actually the cover for the water block. And you get 3 fans. The instructions do tell you there are 17 lighting modes. Unfortunately, or fortunately as the case may be, mounting stuff. This box has seen a little bit of damage. This is one of the reasons why I'm not so keen on cardboard being used for packing stuff like this, especially if it's shipped without a shipping box. So if you look at the box itself, you don't see damage. However, that means nothing, because if you look at this, see that damage down there, and it's also over here, and it's also over here, and it's also over here, and over here a little bit. So yeah, I mean, they cheaped out, or either that or whoever I got this from swapped out the proper packaging with that junk. I'll assume for the moment that that's from Lian Li, but I really don't know for sure. They made this very precise, so it's a little bit difficult. Square cold plate, 3-pin SMJST for the ARGB. So you have to have an adapter for that, which I believe is right in. Yep, it's in there. You spent the extra money making this look fancy by using aluminum on the sides. It strengthens it. Aluminum strengthening aluminum. The magic of modern manufacturing. MMM. And the cover of the block, you can rotate it like this, and it does click into positions. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's where it's clicking. There you go. So you can play with that to your heart's delight. There is a fill port right there if you ever need to top it off or replace it. Now, I know that there are some YouTubers out there that recommend when you get it, and there's a valid argument for this. Like Snacksan, she actually did a video about it where she emptied out the liquid from the radiator that she got, and there was a bunch of like shavings, metal shavings and stuff inside the radiator that came out. Not a lot, but there's some. And that stuff always has the potential, if it gets out of the radiator, to jam something up, or even within the radiator, it can cause problems. Not to mention if there's biological stuff that's stuck inside. Let's start out with the pump / water block. And if you don't want to see the name Lian Li, this has a neodymium magnet. So you just put it here, and then you can struggle to get it to center, because they did not make sure that it would center. So that might drive you crazy if you're sensitive about that kind of thing. Me, doesn't matter. Not going to be looking at it anyways. I'll be looking at my screens. So let me get this hooked up so you can see and hear. So this is what the pump looks like when it's lit. So you also get light from the side. It's kind of a nice effect, I think, personally, although I don't care. If I were going to make my PC look like art, I'd have somebody professionally spray paint it to make it look really interesting. Now, this is going to be a little bit noisy when I start it up. Don't worry about it. If you make sure to keep the block at the lowest point of the loop, then air won't build up in it. But if you put the tubes like this, air can accumulate in here if the pump isn't strong enough. So if I go like this, now air is traveling out of the radiator and into the block, into the pump. So on the one side, all I hear is the pump. On the other side, now it's quieting down. If you don't want air to go into your block before you mount it, go like this and shake it to get all the air out of the block. And that should help. The block tubes do rotate. So it's pretty quiet, and honestly, once it's inside of your case, unless there's air inside of the pump, you're not gonna notice the noise at all. Just to add to the weirdness, I just realized that while the pump's ARGB uses a 3-pin JST, the fans use a 4-pin JST. So this one is to adapt both, because it's got the 3-pin and the 4-pin to go to standard ARGB. That's weird. Also, If you don't want to run your ARGB off the motherboard, you can use this controller with the SATA connector to your power supply, and I'll demonstrate that. In order to do that, you need, of course, the SATA cable, which is not permanently attached. I already plugged it in. You'll need this one that has the 4-pin JST, not the SM JST, but the other JST. And then you plug that into the other end here. And this will handle both 3-pin and 4-pin SMJSTs. So you can do it that way if you want to power through the power supply. You can do this with this instead if you want to power through the motherboard. The nice thing about the power supply is that the power supply isn't going to struggle to give it enough power, whereas the motherboard will reach a certain limit after which it won't be able to power all the fans ARGB. If you want the fans to run at full speed all the time, they also provide you with a SATA to PWM connect a splitter to go from PWM to connect all 3 of the fans, a splitter to go from SMJST, so you can do it that way. So what you can do then, it gives people options. So let me get this set up for you. All right. That's what it looks like. Nothing amazing, right? And I've got it at minimum RPMs right now, so we'll listen to it. And that's the maximum. Not too loud, actually. It's decent. And you probably won't notice it most of the time unless you're like causing your CPU to throttle. Now, if you wanted to control this using the controller instead, unfortunately, it appears that the controller I have is defective because this is the only thing it does. It doesn't do any of the other patterns. It does go faster. Or did. There you go. Not so much. It's now not cooperating with me at all. The only thing that I've been able to make it do is this. It was previously allowing me to change the speed, and now it's not letting me do that. It can turn off, though, which is exactly what I want, because now I'm aggravated because the controller doesn't work. I don't know if this is a common problem with this brand or this product in specific, but I'm not happy about it. So you might want to think about it. There is a little ARGB or RGB, I'm not really sure, light in here that is supposed to represent the color or the pattern that you're supposed to be seeing. So like right now I've got red, blue, orange, green, red, blue, orange, green. I don't know. It just seems to be shifting between those 4. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, it's not working. So what can we say about this? Well, I think I can see why it got replaced by the Galahad 2. It's not particularly powerful. And, that always is a concern because you have to have enough power, especially for hot CPUs that are going to thermal throttle if you don't have that requisite amount of power to it. But we will find out after I've done my testing. I will not be getting any other AIOs for a while, I think, because, well, quite frankly, I need money. I need a job. And it's getting to the point where I'm beginning to wonder if Amazon will ever pay the price for what they did to me. So, yay. Anyways, that's about it for me. I feel like I've forgotten something, so if I have, put it in the comments, and I'll follow up in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Sorry.